Hello and welcome to the eDoc Builder training series. In this lesson, we will be covering the Template Info tab. Please note that this lesson discusses the options available in the Template Info area that pertain to both the form-based and interactive designer templates. Items that are exclusive to the interactive version are discussed in another lesson. We will begin by logging into eDoc Builder, and from the templates page, click the pencil icon to edit on the template you want. Next, click Template Info tab. The Template Info page allows you to identify and apply global preferences to the template that you just created. The Template Info window opens to display the name of the template that is currently open. After making any changes to the settings in the Template Info page, do not forget to click Save Changes. Now let's look into the options pertaining to both forms and interactive designer templates. The very first is the name. It displays the name of the template. Description is some text describing the purpose of this template or anything you like. Document code is non-editable. This is a unique code created just for this template and is used to reference the template on the server and in the address bar of browsers. Document password is also not editable. It is the password used by the server for accessing this template. Category. This drop-down menu organizes templates based on the selection that you assign from the drop-down list. On the main templates screen, you can then filter which category of templates is shown. Identifying field. Making a selection from this drop-down will add the contents of the selected field to the identifier column that shows in the order listing in your Presero account. The identifying field must always be a user-provided text field, never an image field, or a purely scripted field or a database field. Please note that if a product also allows the user to rename their job, then the identifying field text will be used to rename the production file instead of the text the user enters on the product page in the rename job field. Imposition. This drop-down menu allows you to select predefined schemes. When this template is ordered, the production file will contain the template set in this imposition scheme, imposed for your press sheet and ready to plate. Owned by. Select a user from this drop-down menu to assign the template to that user. This is particularly helpful if you have users that are set to the lowest level of permissions and therefore are only able to see and modify templates that have been assigned to them. Template created. It shows the date the template was first created. And template modified shows the date the template was last modified. Under View Advanced Options, we have Output File Type. Use this menu to select which format you would like this template's production file to be, PDF or XPS. Unless you are absolutely certain you need XPS, we highly recommend leaving this set to PDF. In the preview options, we have bleed. This setting identifies the bleed margin for the document. Enter the measurement for the bleed in the units you have selected from the Define Units drop-down menu at the top right of the page. Max VDP records. This limits the number of records that may be previewed when using VDP or sequencing. Minimum is 1 and maximum is 1000. Preview watermark text. If you enter text in this optional box, it will display as a large block of translucent text over the product image while your client customizes the template. This helps to protect your assets from misuse or from any theft. Initial preview size. Select the initial size you would like the template to display to your customer. This option is only available with standard forms templates. Select the size from the drop-down choices of small, standard, large, X large or XX large. For Interactive Designer template, you will see Initial Zoom option to use a default zooming setting instead. Select from the drop-down of Fit All, Fit Height, Fit Width in from 100 to 400% for Interactive Designer templates. Disable anti-alias on preview images. By disabling, you will improve the performance of the rendering of the preview images. Under Default Session Lifetime, this section allows you to change how long a session related to this particular template is stored before being automatically purged. Completed sessions and incomplete sessions have a different number of days. The default amount will be displayed, and if you wish to change from that amount for this particular template, simply click Override Default Session Lifetime and edit the number of days each type of session needs, and then click Save. Canvas effect. When using a canvas effect and customizing a template, how the canvas effect will be shown when customizing the template is different depending on if the template is a Forms or an Interactive Designer template. On a Forms template, the canvas effect will be shown on the preview after clicking Update Preview when customizing the template. On an Interactive Designer template, the canvas effect will not be shown until you click Finished Editing and the preview or proof window is displayed. There are three types of canvas effects that are currently supported: mirror, solid color, and wrap. Mirror will copy and flip each of the sides and corners of the image, placing the image around the edge of the canvas on the outside of your production file and to the bleed depth specified. Solid color works the same as mirror, except that it applies a solid color that you choose around the edge of the canvas on the outside of your production file and to the bleed depth specified. Wrap will stretch the image uploaded so that it is large enough to wrap around the sides of the canvas. Wrap will not be obvious when customizing the template, as there is not any visible marker that indicates the original template area. Please note that if you are using an interactive designer template, you can go to the Template Info tab and enable a bleed amount. This will indicate the original area of the template with a gray dotted line when customizing the template and allow you to see the wrapped area clearly added to the sides of your template. When using any of these settings, you will want to create your template to the size of the main area on the canvas. eDoc Builder will increase the size based on the depth you choose, so that your production file will be larger than what the template started out being. Effect depth. Based on the units you set in your account, enter the amount of depth you want to be created on the edges of the canvas. For example, your template is 10 inches wide. You add a depth of 2 inches. The final production file will be 14 inches wide. Color. If you selected the solid color effect, use the image picker to choose either a CMYK or RGB image. You may also indicate a spot color if desired. And the spot color allows you to provide your own spot color code. Template type options. This controls the format of your template. If you have a subscription that includes eDoc Builder's Interactive Designer and you would like this template to use an interactive format where the end user can adjust the template layout when editing, then check Interactive Designer. Otherwise, you can choose Standard Forms Client where the template fields do not have any interactive properties. Standard Forms Client options. This allows downloading proof PDF or preview PDF. If you would like your customer to be able to download a PDF proof or preview of the completed template, select this option. This will be the high resolution PDF file, so it is advised to use a watermark on the template so that the PDF cannot be used for printing purposes. On both forms and interactive templates, you have the option of offering a proof PDF or a preview PDF to your customers so they can download them for their records or to have stakeholders examine and sign off on them. To find these options, look under Standard Options for form templates and Interactive Options for interactive templates to allow downloading proof PDF and allow downloading preview PDF. By checking the box, you can enable or disable either or both options as needed. The preview PDF is exactly like the proof PDF except for one difference. It crops the PDF based on the bleed setting you configure on the same tab. Otherwise, it is the same as the proof PDF. This will be the high resolution production file. As I mentioned earlier, it is advised to use a watermark on the template so that the PDF cannot be used for printing purposes. You can use the preview watermark text field to add a watermark to the proof. This option is offered because sometimes the default proof version that shows the bleed area can confuse customers without a graphic industry's background, resulting in extra back and forth communication if they mistake the bleed area for an error in the proof. When using this option, you must set the bleed option found on the same tab. If you are using a variable file upload or a sequencing script on your template, you can also set the maximum number of records to be included in the preview PDF. You can set this in the max VDP records field. Improve InDesign compatibility may cause a visual differences. Hence, only use it when necessary. Legacy templates have this option of using legacy lines spacing in HTML tags. Templates created after release number 3.7.9 of eDoc Builder use a line spacing method that has better accuracy. Templates created prior to this time will use the legacy line spacing to avoid unwanted changes to the existing templates. You may choose to remove this setting, but please note that you may need to adjust the current settings your template uses after doing so. Under Image Assets URL, we have the option of always use this asset URL. The intent of this feature is to provide a way for eDoc Builder users or self-hosted customers that do not integrate via Presero to override the assets sent by Presero to eDoc Builder. It is assumed that the person setting this up is a developer who knows how to create a URL that returns data using JSON. More details on this feature can be found on our support page. In the other option of query this field, here we need to select a field name that is specified in your template. If you would like the value entered by the customer to be added to the end of the asset URL you have specified above. Under variable data fields, the option disable assets coming from Presero for VDP fields. If selected, the customer must upload a VDP file from their desktop when presented with a VDP upload prompt in the template. Any database asset files available will not be presented as an option. Thank you for watching this training tutorial.